and alcohol seems to be one I've been having a lot of conversations with athletes lately.
How bad is alcohol?
It's not going to offer you any benefits, and it does have quite a few calories in there. So if people's desire is to get leaner and it's a pretty high priority of them, I'm like, okay, then let's talk about how much you're drinking and how often, and can we reduce that just to kind of save some calories that way? Because in order to like get you at a calorie deficit, we'd have to cut out food, and then that's not going to really help you improve that body comp if you're drinking 200, 300 calories a day.
I know I wouldn't be a huge drinker, but like, especially when I'm abroad and you're in the sun, you kind of go after dinner. It adds up when you look at it at the end of the week and you're like, oh, I had one beer after dinner there. I had one beer, and I wore my Whoop for all of October a couple of months back for Sober October. And I looked at the data from September versus October versus November. And I noticed about a 5% difference on average in my heart rate variability with zero alcohol for October. And also about a 7% difference in my sleep quality over the month. And the only noticeable change was the alcohol. So it definitely got me wondering and wanting to explore more. Like, how bad is alcohol? Obviously, nutritional is one lens we can look at it. True. But I also wonder, does it leave you more vulnerable to making bad choices the following day?
Yeah.
Like, you've had 5 beers at night. Who has a healthy breakfast the next day?
Yeah, not very many people, because you just feel terrible. And alcohol also impacts sleep. So not only did you drink that amount that night before, but you probably slept really poorly. So you're waking up feeling very groggy, probably not real great. And so you're not going to want to like make yourself a really nice breakfast to start off the day. So yeah, and like recovery too, I'm okay with having like a celebratory beer after a race, but if you're, hitting the bar afterwards and like drinking, I'd say, 2+, 3+ drinks, that's really going to impede your recovery. It's going to dehydrate you. It's going to make you bouncing back from that race or even that hard workout a lot more difficult. Like, you're going to feel crappy for days, versus if you really prioritize that recovery, you're going to bounce back quickly and ready to go and train the next day or that later on that week.
And I see a lot of people who are trying to lose weight and they're super good for 6 days a week, where they're running a slight deficit of like 100 calories, 200 calories, like a very sustainable deficit 6 days a week. But then on the 7th day of the week, it could have been the Saturday night, they'll go out with friends, they'll have 10 beers and a kebab on the way home, but they'll run more of a surplus on the one day than they did deficit for the 6 days. So they're in a weekly caloric surplus, not deficit. And then they're wondering, I've been so good at my diet.
I wouldn't say, I've seen that where athletes are like, oh, I had a terrible day and it ruined everything. And I'm like, well, I don't think it necessarily ruined the entire week's like of good eating that you did. But yeah, when you're going out on a bender like that, like it's going to take you days to recover from that. And that's where it's really going to impact you more than, it's not going to erase all of the work that you did the week prior, if that makes sense.
Even if you take zero alcohol beers, what's the impact of having that elevated blood sugar going to bed?
I think what's interesting is that people really get like bent out of shape about like blood sugars and an insulin response. And it's the dose is the poison, right? So it's like, it depends on how much you're eating before you go to bed, and what you're having with it. If you're having some carbs at a bedtime snack and you're having some protein with it, that blood sugar rise and fall is going to be pretty gradual, and it can really help with like recovery overnight when you're resting. I like to see in terms of carbs, if we can get more carbs earlier on in the day, I think that's better. But if you're still coming up like short on carbs at the end of the day, I'm not against people having a bedtime snack with some carbs, just maybe pair it with some protein to help with that blood sugar.
So is there foods so you're talking about like lowering the actual glycemic load of the food. Is there foods that if we were just hungry at bed, we'd already hit our allocated carbs for the day? It's like a list of foods people could munch on that don't raise your blood sugar?
If it's got carbs in it, you're going to see some blood sugar rise. But I think when you're pairing it with protein, you're going to see a much slower rise and fall of that blood sugar. So like cereal and milk is one that like a lot of people like to do. There's going to be some protein in that milk as long as you're doing like a regular milk or Fairlife milk or like a soy milk or pea protein milk. Like if you do almond milk, it's only got like 1 gram of protein in there, so you'd want to pair something else with that. Sometimes I like to do like cottage cheese and some fruit, or like a Greek yogurt, or trying to think of what else you could do. Like some oatmeal would be great too. Something that's just gonna give you a little bit more sticking power versus like that. If you can certainly do ice cream, but sometimes I've got one athlete I can think of that she loves ice cream. She has ice cream every single night. And she hasn't taken me up on this, but I keep offering. I'm like, can you just blend that ice cream with maybe a little bit of protein powder, make yourself a little milkshake, just to help boost that protein in the evening, because we're really working on her protein intake. And that way she's still getting like that ice cream sweetness and flavor, but she's getting that added protein in there as well.
Is there an argument for just going 100% protein, going to bed, like, these protein mousses and stuff?
You can do that. I would just, sometimes it's nice to have just a little bit of carbs in there. Because I find with a snack, if you just have protein, it's just not quite satisfying enough. Like people are just like, I still feel a little hungry. I'm like, yeah, we could just add a little carbs in there, and it kind of helps kind of satisfy people's appetite a little bit more.
Roadman, whether you're a weekend warrior or a world tour rider, the right tools can make all the difference. Enter 4i's Precision 3 Plus Power Meter, the latest innovation from 4i, designed to help you reach peak performance. The Precision 3 Plus Power Meter is a compact yet powerful unit. It weighs just 9 grams and it's packed with features that set it apart, including integration with Apple's Find My network, giving you the peace of mind by letting you track your power meter wherever it is. Plus, you've got up to 800 hours of battery life. We all know that accuracy is key, and 4i's delivers a groundbreaking plus or minus 1% accuracy thanks to their unique 3D strain gauge technology. For those seeking even more data, the Precision 3 Plus Pro Power Meter offers dual-sided power meter metrics, giving you detailed insights into pedaling efficiency, torque effectiveness, and left-right balance. 4i's offers versatile product options to suit your needs. Choose from ride-ready power meters with pre-installed units on Shimano cranks, or up for factory-installed power meter, where you send in your crankset for a custom installation. Ready to elevate your cycling game? Trust 4i's Precision 3 Plus Power Meter. Precision, performance, and peace of mind all in one. Learn more by visiting 4iiii.com. That's 4iiii.com. I'm going to put that in the description down below.